Hey guys, it's me Astrid. So today I wanted to talk about elevator consent. Consent is important not only in our sex lives, but in our regular lives too, especially when more vulnerable people are in a compromising situation and less vulnerable people gotta respect that. So I just wanted to tell you a quick story about elevator consent. It made me super happy. I hope my boyfriend doesn't see this because I'm surprising him by getting an old ugly piece of furniture that I brought into his room out of his room. So Eugene, honey, I hope you're not watching. Stay in Borneo and stay off the internet. Um, so I took this big ugly shelf, and when I brought it in, I may or may not have had his consent to bring that shelf in his room in the first place. I brought it in with another person because it's one of those things, if you have two people carrying it, it's going to be fine. If you have one person and you can't lift it off the ground, it's a nightmare. And it probably took me 5 minutes to get it down the hallway, which is as long as a city block, but that's a different story. I get to the elevator, and this guy sees me like, struggling to get that fucking shelf in the elevator. And I said, "Oh my gosh, that was heavy." And he said, "Oh, so, I mean, spring term is just starting." He said, "Oh, so are you moving out?" And I said, "Oh, no, no, no. I'm just taking this down to the dumpster." And here's what he said, and here's the cool part. He said, "Oh, that's a real bummer. It looks heavy. Hey, I could help you take it to the dumpster if that's totally all right with you." He didn't say, "Here, let me help you take that, honey." He didn't say, "Hey babe, let's take that together to the dumpster." No, he looked at me as an individual and a woman alone on the elevator with him, and he said, "I'm going to offer help and then ask for consent to give that help." And he did. And stuff like that is really important. I don't think all guys get that. Obviously, guys can be victims of violence and assaults and all this thing too. But as a woman, I'm exquisitely conscious of this all the time, especially being on a college campus, walking by myself at night, taking elevators with strangers all the time. I'm very aware that I could be harmed by people. And based on the statistics about my school campus, I absolutely could be harmed by people because it does happen here. So for someone to stop, consider my autonomy as a person and my discomfort as being a woman alone in an elevator after dark with a man, and to stop and say, "I'm going to ask for her permission and her consent to offer my help." Rock star. Elevator guy who helped me, not only did you help me do a pain in the ass task and probably save me 20 minutes of like caveman grunting, you also respected my boundaries as a human being, and I so appreciate that. It's also really important to respect when someone says, "No, I don't want your help." You shouldn't insist and push your will upon the other person, because if someone doesn't want your help and you just help them anyway or try to grab their bag or do something, you're going to make them feel really unsafe and you're going to be violating this person's personal boundaries and space. Offering help is great. Asking permission to help is even better, but the best step is when you respect someone's no. So guys, gals, basically anyone, but especially I feel men alone in elevators with women, always understand that a woman alone in an elevator with you is going to be uncomfortable. Maybe not every woman. Maybe not every woman feels the way I do. I can't speak for everyone. But when you're alone in an elevator with a lady, don't talk to her, don't make eye contact with her, don't stare, don't ask her on a date, don't ask for her number. When you see a woman struggling with some object she's carrying and she's by herself, don't say, "Here, I'm helping you," and jump in and do that because she didn't ask for your help. You need to wait and you need to ask permission. If you're going to say, "Hey, is that all right if I give you a hand here? It's totally okay if you don't want my assistance." Perfect. Perfect. Just know that jumping in and trying to offer help when you're not given consent to give that help sometimes isn't wanted or needed or anything. But in most cases, I'll definitely appreciate being offered a hand when I'm struggling so hard. Always make sure that before you try to help someone, you have their permission to help them. And I think the world will be a better place, a brighter place, and you'll be a less presumptuous dude, lady, non-binary person, whoever you are. Thanks so much for watching. Always remember to ask consent of people in sexy times and in non-sexy times. We need consent in the world. Bye, guys.